surfing in Boulder. Fuck. Oh. I think it's like the 27th of September. Saturday, perhaps. Yeah, I still have plans. It was cold for a couple days and then it warmed up, so that's cool. Still feel like it's summer. I didn't do a video yesterday because I was, I guess, working too much. I was working until like 3:30 in the morning, or 4, until I got tired. Like I actually got like groggy, sleepy, tired. And then went to sleep, and then I slept in. Like, I knew it was late, but when I looked at my phone, it said 1:30. So I was laying in bed. I was like awake, but I was like too tired to open my eyes and stuff until 1:30. And then I was kind of hungry, so I went to the weed shop because I ran out of weed last night at like 9 or 10 or something, and yeah, I got like $50 worth of weed. Can't remember, like a week ago. So today I still had cash from like I guess last month when I didn't have my wallet, lost my wallet. So the rest of that, it was like $19 worth of weed. Just last couple days. Silver shelf, second shelf. And then went to the store and got a salad with a avocado. I should make, after this video, I'm gonna go make a protein drink. See if that tides me over. And then if I get hungry again, I have these like the 3 beans, those 3 bean cans. And then make a tea, because I got tea the other day. But yesterday I had to take care of my mom's cat. I had to go over there. But yeah, yesterday I was working away, on my world history, I call it world history page, but I should call it world cities and tribes page, because I have a page for wars, and that's history too. So, I thought I was going to finish Europe. I have it divided into 4 sections. Americas, Europe, Africa, and Asia. And Europe's the biggest, even though America's the biggest country. Because I think it has the most tribes. But I don't know about that. But I thought maybe I was going to finish Europe yesterday, but then I remembered about Italy, which has 256 cities, and I think I was only like 50 in until I found a discrepancy with the website, and I stopped because I was like, what do I do? Now I know you have the website, follow the Google Earth. But then I got to Switzerland. I did all the countries after Switzerland until Ukraine, but I went back to Switzerland and figured, okay, I guess I'll just go ahead and do Switzerland to the same detail as the other countries. And I was getting bogged down. That's why I've been doing this for many days in a row, because I got bogged down building these walls, because I thought that I finished, but I had to fix a few of them and add a bunch of walls, because I'm trying to do all the walls. From when it's a tiny little tribe, like when it was first started, whether it was started as a castle or a fort or a tiny little village with a wall, and then they build it bigger. So usually they're like a kilometer is about what the circumference of a village, like these are the cities, the ones that, because I choose which cities they are based on whether or not they have a Wikipedia article, whether or not there's anything in the Wikipedia article, just if they have one. And so those are the capitals, so they're big, but even those, when they get started, they're like a village. So yeah, so they're like a one, and then I would do the next one up, which the standard for a city, kind of like a big city in the day. would be like 4 kilometers around. That's what Mantinea is, which is the most preserved city wall from ancient world in the Peloponnesus in Greece. Yeah, there are 2 battles there, battles of Mantinea. You should check it out. It's pretty cool. It's like a perfect oval. It'd be cool to rebuild the city there. I'm not gonna do it. Unless nobody else does, you know, in 20 years down the road, but that's not gonna happen. But yeah, so that bogged me down, you know, like tracing new walls and adding castles, and I could have used, I think I have a castle, Google Earth of castles, where I think I Google Earthed it, but I'm not that sure. I need to go look, because it might not be the actual. I think a lot of them were the ones, yeah, a lot of them are actually on Google Earth. Like they're 3D on Google Earth. It's pretty cool. But I guess that's what Google Earth will do one of these days, huh? That'd be cool if Google Earth does it. But anyway, I'm doing it kind of like to the book, which I don't trust other people to do. And so when I got stuck on Switzerland, that's a big time down bogger, because Switzerland has the most cities out of any of them. Because I'm doing Switzerland not based on whether or not the village has a Wikipedia page, but on what it was reported to by in history, you know. And I did every country I would do the same. You know, if Julius Caesar had said, the Gauls said that there were 1,000 villages in Rome or in France, I would have been like, okay, well, I have to build 1,000 villages in France. But he didn't do that, did he? They do have the estimations, like I think it was 1,300 in the Roman Empire in Italy, and like 1,600 in Italy, and like 1,300 in Spain, and something like that in France. But you know the guess of what the population was in France, and you could then guess. But I'm only doing the ones that they know about, right now. So he said there were 400 towns in Switzerland. The Helvetii, from the Helvetii tribe that he was talking about at the very beginning of the Gallic Wars, the first tribe he fought. And the Helvetii pretty much overlap modern day Switzerland. It's pretty much the same exact area. So when he says there was, I think, 160,000 Helvetii, then you know where to put those 160,000 Helvetii, and you know where to put the 400 towns. And he said there were 10 cities, 400 towns. So what I did is just in averaging the numbers, I built 10 cities with an average, I think, of like the same density as Rome, because I have Rome's population density based on the size already, because I'm building Rome. So just based on Rome, from the same size, I guessed what the population density would be with this cities and towns, and so I built the walls accordingly big. And so I think I decided on 6 kilometers for the cities, 6 or 7 kilometers, or maybe it was only 4. I can't remember. Between 4 and 6, because I had to trace what I saw on Google Earth too. You have to do it in your head mathematically, but at the same time you have to trace what you see, and a lot of times you can actually see what you think the city was. Luckily for me, they both lined up. And I love it when that happens. And it always lines up. And in the cities were like an average of, I can't remember, but I had them average between, I think, like, I didn't look. I wasn't even really looking. 2 kilometers in circumference or something, in circumference between that and like 1 kilometer. but it had an evenly spaced out in size, and I chose exactly where I thought they would be. So I basically rebuilt, and and then I tell you exactly how many people live in each village, so you can rebuild the villages. So of course I'll have to rebuild a couple of sample of those, but so you know exactly what Switzerland looked like. If you want to understand history, and the first thing you want to do is rebuild the infrastructure, because that, visually looking at it, that's when everybody can figure out, understand what their life was like, and how they managed to live. I think modern day historians think that that's too much. There's no way that you could sustain that many people, and that historians from the past are always lying. But I can't do that. The way that I do it, I have to just take it by face value and just make it work. And so when I was rebuilding Switzerland, and I built all those villages, I was thinking to myself, holy shit, man. That seems like too many people. Because that's like almost as many villages as there are now. That's like, if there were 400 then, there's only like 600 now. Even though the population, that's denser. But so look at Switzerland now, like Google Earth and all the villages. That's like what it looked like back then, according to Julius Caesar. Almost. So I was like, how do you sustain that many people? Well, I noticed there's a lot of mountains, so there's a lot of rain, there's a lot of rivers and creeks. So they could probably sustain themselves from farming just on their land real easily, with all of the irrigation and rain and then there are a lot of lakes, a ton of lakes, and a huge river passing through them, and lots of woods and forests, so there's animals to hunt. And so maybe they could have sustained 160,000 people back in those days. So I rebuilt it. But anyway, you rebuild it, and then you can it's easier to come to a conclusion on what the proper balance would be. What it really looks like is what we're trying to get at. So I left it it was really time consuming. I did it like last year, and I left it at just the circumference in kilometers, because that's kind of how I left all of them, which is cool because I know that they were all on the same level. Like there wasn't anything that I got lost because I got started on it. So I switched it over to, and I don't know why I didn't. I should have done it before, but I switched it over to miles/kilometers, because that's how I do it with everything. And but then I decided I had to do it the same as the other ones, the other countries. So I last night I traced around to know how many acres they are, because that's but it was easier because they were smaller. But I almost finished it last night, and then only a little bit today before I went out. And so now I'm creating, and I just did maybe the first 70 or something, I don't know, but out of 400. But and I just saw a discrepancy. I have to make one, because one town took two with two different size walls. I thought I ironed all that out, but I'm making the folder, and then putting the two files of the wall and the area in the folder. And then after I have to then make the area, the wall, go to its proper height, I guess like 10 meters. So which is cool, make it 3-dimensional, so it looks cool when you zoom in and out of it. Looks realistic. And one day make roads together. Not anytime soon, but I would have to, so if I'm gonna make the walls go up at a certain color, brown color of wood and solid, then I would have to make the area transparent so you can see the ground, see all the buildings. And so I'm gonna have to individually make all those transparent. That's the next step, just to get through Switzerland. Then of course the next step after that is making the movies. So am I gonna make movies of each and every village? I guess so, only I'll just zoom around faster. But hey, that's cool. That's reef building history. So but I'm not gonna make the movies until I'm done making the areas of the whole world. And then I'll go and see if I can do the movies of the whole world. I didn't include the village, those 400 villages in 10 cities. I think it was maybe 10 or 12, into my website, because I built that on Google Earth since the last time I built that was working with it on the website. But I was thinking about putting it on the website. I'll save that until after I'm done with Europe. But or the whole Google Earth of that page. So yeah, dude, that might take me like the rest of the year. I don't know, but at least I'm working a lot. Both of the foggers for my tegu cage broke. The ferrets were knocking it down so much, I guess, and trying to lick out of it. Maybe they got their slobber in it, and it got clogged, and then all the bird feathers fell in the other one and clogged it. I need to fix that because I don't want the sand to dry up on my tegu, and have his cave in, and him start to not shed right, because he was looking really good, man. Just glowing. Like not a single bad torn piece of dead skin anywhere ever. So yeah, but I've been kind of lazy, you know. I think I'm gonna, because I'm trying to get some headway on this stuff, you know, which is like, it's bogs me down. So I'm gonna try to make the folders for Switzerland today, before I do anything with the cage. I don't know, but yeah, and then I'm done with Europe, and can get going on the other parts of the world and see how fast I can get through it. Yeah, I'll try to do a video tomorrow. Alright, talk to you tomorrow.